that inspires change.
Welcome to Zakiya Larry Live. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. I say this every single show, but guess what? We are on location in New Orleans, Louisiana. Now, I know it's known as a party city, but a lot of really amazing business is done here. How do I know? Well, check this out. I am here at the National Association of Black Journalists Conference. So that means people of color from across the country who affect the news, what you see every single day, are right here in one place, learning from each other, teaching each other tools of the trade, networking, trading cards, and you know what? I am here for all of it. And not only is it top journalists interacting with each other, but we also have celebrities who are here talking about their journey and telling their stories to the people that tell the stories to you, us. Journalists. So I'm taking you along with me in this very special New Orleans edition of Zakiya Larry Live. Make sure you stay tuned to hear from celebrities about their journey, to see and hear from some of the biggest and brightest journalists in the area, and to get a sneak peek into what's going on right here in New Orleans, baby.
Wait, what?
Okay, so the question, the wait what for today is, have you ever been in a professional environment or a scenario in which you are moving and grooving, and then something really random happens to you that derails you? It makes you say,
wait, what?
Okay, so tell me all about it. Use hashtag ZLLive and give me your wait what. So, you know me, I gotta put myself out there first. I'm gonna give you my own wait what. It actually happened right here at NABJ, the National Association of Black Journalists Conference. So, it's all of these receptions by media partners that are being hosted. And I'm going from reception to reception. I'm with my team. I'm networking. I have on my favorite dress. Everything is good in the hood. But listen, I'm hungry. I am ravenous. I am so hungry that I'm eating every little hors d'oeuvre that I can find. Well, I guess I was eating too fast because food just completely misses my mouth and falls all over my favorite dress. Here's what's so cute about that, though. As soon as food hits me, my New York producer, Charles Williams, who you met in the last show, comes up to me and says, let's do a filming. Let's go. So I stand up. I got grease all on my dress. I look like a toddler, like a 3-year-old. I don't know how to eat anymore. And I was like, I'm supposed to be here doing a show. I can't even feed myself. Wait, what? That is so embarrassing. So I'm walking through the lobby, and I've got these big grease stains on my dress, literally like just now. And people are so kind. They're like, oh, I like your dress. And I'm mortified because I know I look like a toddler. So that's my wait what. I thought I was really doing something. So use hashtag ZLLive and let me know your wait what. When did you think you were really killing it, but you ended up kind of embarrassing yourself?
Wait, what?
When I give you my word, I will keep my promise. So I told you it's going to be tons of celebrity events, celebrity interviews from the National Association of Black Journalists Conference on site in New Orleans, and I'm making good on my promise right now. So let me tell you what just happened on this red carpet that you can look forward to. There have been phenomenal celeb interviews from the cast of Greenleaf, the cast of Queen Sugar, the producers and actors from the film We Are Rising that chronicles the story of HBCUs. And you know I'm an HBCU grad. But then also we've had the producers of the film 90 Days that really gives insight into the HIV and AIDS epidemic and calls the community to action. But that is not all. You know what? I need to take a breath real quick. But you know what? We talked to so many other celebrities, for instance, from the new series Black Lightning, the first ever series to have a black superhero. We also talked to the cast and crew of the film on TV1, When Love Kills. Oh my gosh, compelling. You've got to hear more from them. And as a matter of fact, my mom and I set an appointment every single week to watch Queen Sugar. She watches from Memphis, and I watch from wherever I happen to be. But you know what? Coming up first, we're going to talk to the cast of Greenleaf. You're going to hear from Merle Dandridge, also known as Grace Greenleaf, also the elegant Lynn Whitfield, who is Lady May Greenleaf, and the Lamman Rucker, Jacob Greenleaf. Coming up right now on Zakiya Larry Live from New Orleans. How are you? I'm very well. Wonderful to meet you. Hello. Lynn, you and I met on Kings of the Evening years and years ago, my soror. So Greenleaf delves into real life issues, obviously, but it's based in the faith-based arena. And I know that people can feel very sensitive when it comes to their church lives, and folks can see themselves in the stories. How do you balance audiences that get completely invested personally because they may see some of themselves in their stories, in your characters, but especially in a faith-based environment?
Well, you know what? We have had nothing but support from the church communities. It really has been amazing for them to say these stories need to be told. We need to see this, because we're not pointing a finger at the church. We are, in fact, talking about human beings. So we're not criticizing the church. If people see things and then they look back at leadership in their church, maybe it is time for us to question and take our leaders to task on some things, you know?
And to that point, because you're illuminating issues and people may see themselves in it, do you feel a personal responsibility to women who may see themselves in your character, who see themselves in your art? Is that a burden to carry, or how do you balance that?
I would never call it a burden. I think it's a great honor. And the fact that they can find themselves or anything about something they might be dealing with reflected in the things that we're telling, I think they feel like they're in good hands because we do it with love and affection. And the fact that these issues are in a narrative form, it opens it up so that they can talk about it. These are well-drawn characters that people have come to really care about and love, and when they want to know what's going on with them. So the issues that maybe they have felt are taboo to talk about, because we're going through it, it gives them forum and space to talk about it, and things that they might not have had the courage to talk about with their family or at church or whatever.
Last question, Lamman, as a man who plays a very complex character, what are you hoping that other men of color can take away from your professional experience and from your character on Greenleaf?
Well, I think it's I think we struggle with our imperfection a lot. I think there's a lot of challenges and a lot of sometimes foolish information and conflicting information on what it means to be a man, what it means to be a father, what it means to be a son, right? To be a husband, whatever. So I think the joy that I really get and the responsibility that I feel, right, in playing Jacob is so that other men see themselves, and that they honestly and authentically see themselves in our frailty, which is a word that I love that Lynn uses a lot, but also just in our uncertainty, our insecurity, to see a man my size, to see a man that comes from such incredible parents like May and Bishop, and to see a man who, again, has a woman, like this as his sister. I mean, this regal family, right? And you got this regal man. At the same time, he's still a little boy, and he's still a man trying to figure out what it means to be a man, and a man in this family, a man that meets this standard, a man that can even try to find the courage and the audacity, even if you will, to establish a new standard, because Greenleaf, the legacy at some point, he's going to be the king of this castle at some point, right? And then he's got to prepare the next prince, to take over as well. So that succession, the pressure that comes along with that, and like men understand that. A lot of us are under so much pressure, but we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to show how much we hurt, how much we're in pain, how lost we are. So I try to really allow myself to be that transparent, and so that we see Jacob all screwed up, but we still love him, we still believe in him, we still see his strength. But but we're not afraid to admit and acknowledge that that he doesn't have it together, and we don't have to.
And for your innovative work. Now let's talk to the cast of Queen Sugar. I am right there with Tina Lifford. You know her as Aunt Vi. And also Omar Dorsey, the beloved Hollywood, and then Dawn-Lyen Gardner, our girl Charlie. It's the cast of Queen Sugar. Queen Sugar is now iconic, especially in the black media diaspora, but I think it speaks to cultures across the board. Did you know when you accepted these roles that you were doing a noble work that would be addressing issues that resonate at the very heart of a community?
Just knowing that who it's coming from Ava DuVernay. We knew it would be no half-stepping. No matter what she tackles, no matter what she tackles, she's going to take it on full force, and she's going to show the brilliance and the ugliness and whatever it is that needs to be shown. So I had no doubt in my mind that when I got the script, I knew exactly. I didn't know it was going to be this big, but I knew exactly what she had inside of her, and I knew that it was up to us to bring it out.
So, Dawn-Lyen, you embody a character that is varied, and many career women resonate with your character. What is one thing you hope that professional women take away from the story that you are telling through Charlie?
I think one thing that I am very committed to is that all parts of her matter, that her fragility and her vulnerability, her flaws, her needs are as important as her strength, her resilience, her complexity, her genius business sense. All of those things make up who she is and deserve attention. So I think this season we're seeing an unmasking of that, and I'm so enjoying it because it's giving her an opportunity to be fully felt and fully fleshed, and I think sometimes we feel as black women who are, you know, the pioneers and having to hold up the world, we feel like we don't have that time, we don't have that space to just be vulnerable and to need and to ask for support, and that's as important as everything else. So to that point about vulnerability, Tina, you play a character that is so powerful, the glue that holds the family together, but at her heart still a woman who needs love. We resonate with that. What are you hoping that women who feel like they have a wall up protecting themselves from love, what are you hoping they see, not just in your character, but in the way you as an artist live your life?
That the importance of joy is important, and that we must align with ourselves and our passion and what really matters in order to release joy and conjure it up inside of us, and that there is absolutely nothing but honor in making sure that you honor your passion, because that's what you're here for. If you fulfill your passion, then you become a stroke in the tapestry of life that is undeniable.
Thank you so much for your time and for your contribution to art in our world. Thank you. Whoa, I love what Tina Lifford just said. If you fulfill your passion, you become a stroke in the tapestry of life that is undeniable. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Bye. No. Thank you so much to the cast of Queen Sugar. And you know what? It's not just about television series. We had the opportunity to talk to writers and directors of short films as well. As a matter of fact, let's talk to the writers and directors of the soul-stirring short film 90 Days. Now, 90 Days is really about how love conquers all, but it also brings awareness to HIV. And so, listen, you have got to hear from these incredible thought leaders. We're talking to director Jennia Fredrique and writer-director Nathan Hale Williams of 90 Days. Wow. Nathan and Jennia, you are here at the National Association of Black Journalists Conference, and you could have been anywhere. Why is it important for you to lend who you are, your influence, your passion, to a group of journalists of color?
Well, we made this film for the black community. We made this film because it tackles HIV and AIDS in our community, and we all know that it's still ravaging our community at disproportionate rates. And we knew that the media, the black media, are the people that can get the message of love and acceptance and removing the stigma out there. And so we couldn't have asked for a better place to be.
To create a film that was for us and to be honored by us is just beautiful and amazing. Like, it's so important.
And so we have the benefit of a screening tonight, but will you please tell our viewing audience how they can get involved in the movement of bringing awareness, but also support the film and make sure the communities they're attached to have a chance to interact with this work as well?
Well, you can go first to our website, 90daysthefilm.com. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. And we just really want to thank our sponsors, AHF Worldwide, the CDC, and HIV Stops With Me. But go to 90daysthefilm.com, sign up for our website. We have more stuff coming. Like we said, 22 festivals in 6 months.
Yes, it's been incredible. And we won an African Oscar.
We won an African Oscar, we did.
From NABJ in New Orleans, it's Zakiya Larry Live.
I just wanted to come here and share exactly what I've been experiencing, who I have met, the tools and strategies I have learned that have allowed me to build a better me. It is time for us to not have any more limits on our life.
Hi, this is Nicole R. Coleman, host of the new show, Super Bold Live. Each week, I will feature real people just like you that have stepped out on faith, overcome fear, and made bold moves that transform their lives. We are creating a community of game changers. Listen in each week and let's help you unleash the power within. Bold talk, bold impact, bold transformation. Be sure to connect with me at www.livesuperbold.com.
Super Bowl Live with Nicole R. Coleman. Tuesdays, 7 to 8 p.m. on 1520 KYND.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Smith, and I'm a certified spiritual life coach and motivational speaker. But more importantly, I am a wife and a mother. I am so excited to begin the next chapter of my journey, my new radio talk show, The Journey with Tiffany Smith, on KYND 1520 AM. That's right, tribe. You can tune in every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. starting July 24th. My new show will include conversations about manifesting your dreams, celebrity interviews, and also I've created some new tools to support you in changing your life. If you're ready to change your life, baby, you got to change your mind. Join the journey with Tiffany Smith and let's talk about it.
KYND. Listen longer. Think differently.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Zakiya Larry Live. And hey, if you're on my website, ZakiyaLarryLive.com, or even on Facebook with Zakiya Larry or KYND Radio, you're watching Zakiya Larry Live. Listen, so we're right here in New Orleans, and you've had a chance to check out some celebrity interviews. Now, make sure you are staying tuned because you know my show is all about elevating. Next, I'm talking to super producer couple Mara Brock and Salim Akil. You know them from their work Girlfriends and Being Mary Jane, and they are here with Zakiya Larry Live from NABJ in New Orleans talking their new project, Black Lightning, featuring Network TV's first black superhero. Up next, right now, Mara Brock Akil and Salim Akil. One question for you guys. You all have produced notable, iconic works, and you do them together. How? Okay, that's a blanket question, but there are often challenges in relationships when it comes to competition, when it comes to time, when it comes to getting tired of each other. All right? Akil, can you please help us understand the balance that you all do as a business team and then as a couple?
Well, I will tell you, to one and all, this summer on OWN, we're going to tell you the whole story in our new TV memoir called Love Is. It is a show inspired by our lives to answer those questions. But to give you something right now, I honestly believe we honor each other first in all areas of our life. He comes first as my husband, as my business partner. That relationship is tantamount to raising kids. It's also tantamount to producing what we do. And when we're locked in, we're ready to go, everything else sings.
Absolutely, absolutely. As a male, as a man, how do you balance because I'm sure there are no power struggles here. How do you balance leading as well as meshing together as a team?
because there is no controversy or discrepancy about our roles in our relationship. I mean, the business aspect of what we do is we're partners, we're friends, and we love what we do. And we debate and we come to conclusions, and that's great. But in our personal life, there are roles, and we understand our roles. It's a very egalitarian relationship. It's not like I'm the man, so I take control, but I am the man. So there's a role for that, and Mara is the woman, and there's a role for that, but it does not mean that either is subservient to the other. It just means that it's a partnership. And when you understand that, I think it's very easy to walk forward in partnership. It's not difficult.
And what can we look for next from you?
Black Lightning. We're here today to really talk about Black Lightning and introduce the show to the village that we know, who will understand what it is that we are trying to say and help put us in context. But Black Lightning on the CW is going to be a mid-season show, top of the year. Hasn't settled on a date, January or February of 2018. But it's time for a black superhero on broadcast television, and not just from a father figure, male, who's leading it, but we're also introducing young women and talking about their empowerment and their powers.
Yeah, they're going to have their powers. So you're going to see young black women empowered by superpowers. It's great. Fantastic.
Thank you so much. We look forward to Black Lightning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow, how much transparency did the Akils just share with us? I love that. Now, speaking of Black Lightning, let's talk to the superhero himself, played by veteran actor Cress Williams. You know him from Heart of Dixie, Friday Night Lights, ER. Ladies and gentlemen, here on Zakiya Larry Live, Cress Williams, Black Lightning.
Zakiya Larry, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How you doing?
I am wonderful. So my first question, all of us are short. Does this hurt when you bend down to talk to us? Because I feel bad for you. I feel bad.
It doesn't hurt. I'm used to it, but my director, my boss is always telling me to stand up straight. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe I can.
I gotta get that hero stature. Yeah.
You're Mr. Williams now, right? Right.
No, I'm just Cress.
Right. So, Cress, talk to me a little bit about the characters that you choose to portray. Why do you take on the roles that you do, especially when for black actors and actors of color, often you carry the hopes and dreams of an entire community on your back, as well as perceptions, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, the thing is like, from a very early age, I've always wanted to be versatile. And I've looked at other, white actors who have been able to go from A to Z in the roles that they played and saw that A, it was fun, and B, they had career longevity. And so, for me, I've always wanted to do that. I looked at Marlon Brando as actually one of my first examples. And so, I saw him singing and dancing in Guys and Dolls and then doing The Godfather. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And so I've been really blessed.
Wow, thank you, Cress Williams. And hey, be on the lookout for Black Lightning premiering soon on the CW. Now, NABJ was not just about TV series and red carpets. I also had the chance to catch up with filmmakers, directors, and producers, as well as authors who turned their books into big screen gold. As a matter of fact, here's what I mean. Up next, you're going to hear from Stanley Nelson Jr., the director of Tell Them We Are Rising, the story of historically black colleges and universities. Now, I'm excited about this one because last week's show was all about HBCUs. Do we even still need them? So to talk to Stanley is a great continuation of that conversation, and I know you will hear something from him that ignites a new thought for you. And immediately after talking to Stanley about this HBCU film, I had a chance to catch up with a Houston hometown hero, author turned publisher turned movie mogul, Reshonda Tate Billingsley. It's Zakiya Larry Live. Hi there, Stanley Nelson Jr.
Why was this an important story to tell, and what are you hoping the audience gains from it?
Well, it's the first film that's been done on HBCU, so I think that in itself is important. My mother went to HBCU, my father went to HBCU. That changed their life, that changed my life, that'll change my kids' life, all down through the generations. So HBCUs have been really important for us, and I think sometimes that's forgotten. We forget it. Certainly, most white folks don't know it, so it's really important that we tell the story.
So I'm a proud graduate of an HBCU myself, Texas Southern University in Houston. So I get the importance. Is it that you are hoping that people who may not have a rich experience like we have, because my parents attended HBCUs, are you hoping this is for an audience that is completely disconnected from knowledge about HBCUs? Is that who we're reaching? Or are we reaching people who have a soft spot for HBCUs and enjoy the nostalgia of the stories as well?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the tricks of making this film, because we wanted the film to be for both people. We want the film to be for you, who has a history of HBCUs, but also for people who don't know anything about HBCUs. And so what we're trying to do is make an informative film, but also an entertaining film. And so that's, I think, what we've done.
At the end of the day, if your audience can walk away knowing, thinking, or feeling one thing, what do you want that to be?
You know, that's a funny question. It's a great question. It actually is funny, but it's great. I want people to be entertained. I mean, that's the first thing I want. I want people to come out of films being entertained. You know, and then if they're entertained, look, if you sit there for 90 minutes and watch a film about HBCUs, you're gonna learn something new.
Zakiya Larry live in the building.
Hi there, I am here with author extraordinaire, journalist, a woman that I admire and respect so much, who is right out of the Houston area, Reshonda Tate Billingsley. We're going to take this opportunity to just quickly get into the mind of a mogul. Hey there, Reshonda, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine. Thank you so much for taking time out to talk with me.
It's my pleasure. As a matter of fact, taking time out, let's talk about time really quickly. How do you do it? I understand that you are the author of 47 books, and you have one coming out very soon. How on earth do you do that, Reshonda, when most people can't even get the first one out?
Yeah, you know, so I have the books. I'm also the publisher of Brown Girls Books, and we have about 45 authors there. I'm the editor for the Houston Defender newspaper, and I have 3 children. But you know what? I believe every minute you spend talking about what you don't have time to do could be spent doing it. And so that's how I'm able to do it all. I don't waste time bemoaning what I don't have time to do.
That is huge. So in addition to not wasting time bemoaning what you don't have time to do, is there another tip that you can give listeners, not just women, but listeners in general, about how they can maximize their time and be a lot more productive, especially working toward their dreams?
You know, it's about just making sure that you get organized and that you find that time. What happens a lot is people will start a project and then they realize it's a load of clothes that need to be washed. And so it's a matter of organizing and not getting distracted. Social media is a huge distraction. There are times when I'm on a deadline, I have to set a reminder that I can't go on social media because it can get you distracted. My reward for when I finish a book is I binge watch one of my favorite shows. And so I set those type of goals and reward system to reward myself, just to keep myself on track, because life is a distraction and you'll always have something there stopping you from realizing your dreams.
Reshonda, how do you practice self-care? Because you just illuminated something very important. You reward yourself, but in the midst of ripping and running and writing and being a journalist and being all of these hats that you wear, along the way, how do you take care of yourself and rejuvenate?
You know, I do what makes me happy. Now, part of my problem is working makes me happy, and so I do realize that I'm a workaholic, and so if there's anything that I'm working on, it's that, because working gives me joy. But at the end of the day, you know, none of my work is what matters. My family is what matters. And so that's the thing, that you have to find what it is that gives you the most joy and make sure that you make time for it. I don't want my children to grow up and then, you know, say, well, mom had all these books, but they can't remember any time mom spent with them.
Wow. I would like to pivot really quickly to ownership, Reshonda, because when I first met you, obviously you were just at the top of your game as a journalist, and yet you transitioned into a new field. And now you are dominating in those areas. Why was that important to you to branch into not just entrepreneurship, but diversifying your entrepreneurship journey?
I believe in doing, like I said, what makes you happy. But I asked myself, what would you do for free? What is your passion? And so at one time it was journalism, and I lived 20 years doing that. And it's okay to change midstream. It's okay to say, okay, now I have a different passion. I just happen to have both of these have always been my passion, both journalism and being a writer. And so I'm able to live both of them. I ask myself, what would I do for free? I would do this for free. The great thing is I don't have to.
So, Reshonda, please give us a little bit of insight into your companies as it relates to this question. There are people who wonder, how do I turn my book into a film or take my project and create a broader platform? How did you do it? And can we leverage who and what you are and support your companies along the way?
Yes, I wrote a good book. That was the first start. And so I wrote a good book, and then I got out it's about branding. I built my brand and drew attention to my book. And that caught the attention of Hollywood producers, and they took my book and made them into films. But nowadays, you don't have to wait on Hollywood. And people would be surprised on what you can do with an iPhone and a dedicated crew. So find a way to make your dreams a reality. Maybe that means you get a Kickstarter campaign going. Maybe that means you get with a local university and get some interns, or you get some young people, or not even young people, people that may want to change their career path and do things. Find a way to make your dreams a reality instead of letting an excuse serve as a roadblock.
Reshonda, thank you for taking the moments out of your life to spend time with us here at Zakiya Larry Live. We just love you and appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh wait, you have to hear what's coming up next. It's Zakiya Larry Live.
Zakiya Larry Live in the
If you're Hi, this is Nicole R. Coleman, host of the new show Super Bold Live. Each week I will feature real people just like you that have stepped out on faith, overcome fear, and made bold moves that transform their lives. We are creating a community of game changers. Listen in each week and let's help you unleash the power within. Bold talk, bold impact, bold transformation. Be sure to connect with me at www.livesuperbold.com.
Super Bowl Live with Nicole R. Coleman. Tuesdays, 7 to 8 p.m. on 1520 KYND.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Smith, and I'm a certified spiritual life coach and motivational speaker. But more importantly, I am a wife and a mother. I am so excited to begin the next chapter of my journey, my new radio talk show, The Journey with Tiffany Smith, on KYND 1520 AM. That's right, tribe. You can tune in every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. starting July 24th. My new show will include conversations about manifesting your dreams, celebrity interviews, and also I've created some new tools to support you in changing your life. If you're ready to change your life, baby, you got to change your mind. Join the journey with Tiffany Smith, and let's talk about it.
Yeah. Whoa. That was Yolanda Adams with Victory, baby. And that's what we had this morning on the Yolanda Adams Morning Show, nothing but victory. It is a Fly Friday Live. It's going down. We have a live audience coming in at around 7 o'clock. Doors open at 6.
We're here. Thank you so much. We are Fly Fridaying live, and we have our studio family inside with us.
Yeah.
How they look?
They looking good. Look like they unemployed.
No, we're not saying that. We don't say that. No, they look very.
Look like they control your fate and your freedom.
Hey, it's your elevation strategist, Zakiya Larry, and you're listening to Zakiya Larry Live on KYND 1520 AM.
Oh, hey guys, this is Zakiya Larry Live, and I'm here with Tressa, Azarel, Smallwood, and when I tell you she is a phenom, and you will see exactly what I mean in a minute. Now, Tressa, I had the opportunity of hearing a bit about your story, so I'm just going to open up the floor and let you drop the mic. How were you pushed into your destiny?
So I, literally was pushed into my destiny because I used to be a school teacher. I had no idea or any type of vision to become an author, a movie producer, none of that. And so the first time that the doctor told me I was going to go on bed rest, I said, bed rest for 6 months? Like, what do you expect me to do?
So wait, but you were having a baby though, right? You were expecting.
I was 3 months pregnant.
Whoa, whoa, pause. You were 3 months pregnant. You weren't even halfway down the road. 3 months pregnant, bed rest. Then what happened?
So I had my little Belle sitting in the bed, and I was like, well, this is not working. Like, what am I going to do? And so I had a family member who said, you should write a book. You know, you're really good at writing. Well, I didn't think novel at the time. So I started writing, came up with this amazing story. I wrote that book literally within 60 days, got it edited, went through the process, and before you know it, obviously I gave birth to my daughter. I learned how to self-publish, and I made $40,000 in the first 2 months off of book sales. So I was like, wait a minute. Sounds like something I should be doing. And I love the business aspect to it as well. It's not about just writing the book. It's about how do you get it to the masses? How do you get it published in a way where everybody will start to see the project? So that's what I did.
So that's an incredible journey. And the thing is, I'm sure you never imagined where you'd be today. You have written 7 and published how many?
162 books under my company, Life Changing Books.
And so, so you're changing lives, but at your core, you're still a teacher. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the reality is all of us should walk in our passion, right? You know, figure out what your purpose is in life. What are you passionate about, and stick with that. Although I write books, although I'm on set, I'm a movie producer, at the end of the day, I still love teaching. And so I found that niche and that love for myself and keeping me focused and keeping me grounded through teaching online classes where I help people write and publish books. I help them write scripts. And it's free, so they love it. They're like, yes, for the free. Yes.
Through free.
For the free.
So, Tressa, before we wrap up here, a lot of people want to talk about balance. And that's a huge word that we're using right now. Some people say it's impossible. Some people say it is. Talk to me a little bit about that, because you're an executive and a mom and a teacher at heart.
21 years.
Come through marriage for 21. I'm just give you tell us something, Tressa, please.
Yeah. So for me, I involve my entire family in the business, and so my husband helps a lot with logistics, and whether it's shipping, whether it's meeting the truck, whether it's meeting the camera crew. My daughters who are here at this conference with me, they're 15 and 20 years old. And so certain events, I take them, and we can't wait until our children are 25 and 30 and then expect them to become these entrepreneurial, do this, do that, be a go-getter. My children have grown up watching me accomplish things that other people said I would not be able to accomplish. So I keep them close.
I love that. So incorporate everybody. Okay. Absolutely. You're going to see more from us, because I love her, and this is just what it is. So, Tressa, let me just say this, because how can we follow your movement, stay in touch, and support everything you do? Because you support so many people.
So 2 things. You can follow me on social media. I'm at CEO Azarel, and Azarel is Azarel. And then also you can, if you want to take a free class, you can sign up at TressaAzarel.com. And it's just like it sounds, TRESSA, Azarel, AZAREL.com. And you can, once you click it, it'll give you a call-in number. You can call and get some info. No excuses.
No excuses. No excuses. Tressa, thank you so much for being who you are. You're such a light. I appreciate you. You are with Zakiya Larry Live, and Tressa Azarel Smallwood, hashtag The Amazing Tressa. Can I rename you The Amazing Tressa? Tressa Azarel Smallwood is awesome, right? So she was on a panel called Books to Screen, The Perfect Pitch. So she is literally walking and living her mission and teaching other people how to do what she has done with her career. Now, speaking of career, you know what? Sometimes you get a chance to build a legacy and become an icon. And to that point, I talked to Simone Manuel. Do you remember the frenzy around this woman? She was the first African-American woman to win an individual Olympic gold in swimming. She also set an Olympic record, and she set an American record. But guess what? It does not stop with this legend. I also talked to her USA Swim teammates, Maritza McClendon, the first Puerto Rican of African descent to be a member of the U.S. Olympic swimming team. Oh my gosh. And the first Black American swimmer to set an American and world swimming record. Oh my goodness. I got pictures of her medals too. That was super cool. And then rounding out this legendary empire, we are talking to Cullen Jones. Cullen is a world record holder in swimming, 2-time Olympian, 4-time medalist.
And this is all in New Orleans, Louisiana on Zakiya Larry Live. Okay, let's get it poppin' with Simone Manuel.
You are an icon. Social media was all the rage. Traditional news was all the rage because of your historic gold medal win. First African American to win an individual gold in swimming, right? What did that feel like? Was it an unexpected pressure, or did you not realize you had shifted the course of human history while it was in play?
I didn't really realize it until, I looked on social media and realized, I was the first person to do that. But there are so many people that came before me and were inspiration to me, and Cullen and Maritza are two of them, and they've been role models to me. So it was really cool to have their inspiration and kind of be that one to, bring their successes to the forefront.
Simone, a lot of people like to talk about goal setting and reaching your goals. That's a hot topic for several circles. However, I'm not sure that people know to dream in such a lofty manner that, hey, in my early 20s, I'm just going to kind of win gold at the Olympics. How did you set the goals that you have for yourself, and then what did you put in place to start to reach them?
Just setting those goals was, kind of going with the process. My coach always talks about enjoying the journey. So there's highs and lows, but you have to continue to believe in yourself and believe that you can achieve the things that you work hard to achieve. And I don't know, I guess I have two older brothers, so they've really instilled the competitive drive in me. So every time I step out on the blocks, I don't ever feel like there's not a chance that I can't win. So when I go out there, I kind of have a lot of confidence, and I think that really helps me and pushes me to reach those goals that I have.
So how and why did you pick swimming in an age where a lot of folks are pigeonholed or put in boxes, and even from the beginning you chose the path that has not been walked, right? Why did you choose swimming?
Well, I started swimming because my parents wanted my two older brothers and I to be water safe. Drowning rate for African Americans is very high. And especially in Texas, it's really hot, so they wanted us to enjoy the summers. So I started learning how to swim at the age of 4, and I tried a couple of different sports, but swimming was just the one that I loved the most, and that's why I continue to do it, even though it wasn't traditional for people that look like me.
What's next for you, Simone? Is it a nap? Is it another world record? What are we looking for from you? What do you want to do next?
Well, right now I'm just enjoying the journey. I'm taking it day by day. I'm getting a much needed break. I haven't taken a break from swimming in a while, but I'll be going back to Stanford and finishing school and swimming there and training for 2020.
And this is my last question, I promise. Is there a reason why all of our winning swimmers are so tall? I'm 5'2", and everyone is just so tall. Is that a thing, Simone?
I'm actually pretty short for a swimmer. I think I am. There's shorter swimmers than me, but on the international level, I'm pretty short. Most of the girls are 6 foot, so, and I'm not that.
And yet a global champion. So there we have it. Simone, thank you so much for just being amazing. We appreciate you here. Thank you. I am here with Zakiya Larry Live. I am talking to the Olympian, Cullen Jones. And Cullen, listen, thank you for joining us. But I'm going to put you on the spot, all right? I want you to give us a rundown of these medals that your talents have garnered. Hit the people with a little something. Cullen?
I've been blessed enough to have 2 golds, 2 silvers. I've been in the 2008-2012 games and still a world record holder, so holding on to that. Holding on.
Holding on to that, Cullen. We're holding on to that. Cullen, I want to talk a little bit about legacy and history. When you were training every single day, were you focused on reaching your goal and your dream, or did you intend to shift history?
No, definitely not to shift history. I liked beating the guy next to me. That was what I loved. I trained every day to try to get better at the sport that I almost drowned, and that's what got me into swimming. And then I fell in love with it, broke my dad's heart by switching from basketball to swimming. But I like to think that he's happy somewhere. I know looking down at me, knowing that I've done well in swimming, but it's something that I don't think about. In 2008, I was the first African American to have a world record, and someone said, "Do you know what you just did for your culture?" And I said, I wasn't thinking about that behind the block, because if I was thinking that way, I probably would have messed up. That's a lot of pressure. I think personally, I went after my goals, and I'm blessed to say that I been able to break some history in the path, but no, I don't think about that every day. It'll freak me out.
Yeah, that would, like, you wouldn't be able to sleep, right?
No, not at all.
So, Cullen, you know what? We're in New Orleans. I know everybody is on a high. And this isn't a sad story, but it's a compelling story. I want you to please tell us a little bit about why you started swimming. You mentioned it. You were 5 years old. Something happened that literally changed your life in the course of history. What happened?
Well, I was a spoiled only child with my parents, and they wanted to go to an amusement park, like most kids do in the summer. And I think what's important about my story was I was fully supervised. So I had my parents there, lifeguards, there were tons of adults, but I was able to go underwater. And, you know, it only takes a child, seconds to go under, and you can have brain damage in 30, and I was underwater for 30 seconds. They had to pull me out, fully resuscitate me, and it was all because, this is before cell phones were a big deal. So they were just handing off the next inner tube. It happened that fast. I have to look to parents now and say, you have to pay attention to your children. And with the smartphones, with everything that's going on, it can happen so quickly. But my parents got me into swim lessons immediately after that because my dad wanted to get on, my mom didn't, and he talked her into it. So I wouldn't want to be him.
Well, thank you so much for your transparency, your candor, and your humility. Cullen, you're amazing. Thank you so much. You're going to want to stay tuned for this and more on Zakiya Larry Live on site in New Orleans at NABJ, the National Association of Black Journalists Conference. We will be back. It's Zakiya Larry Live.
The all-new.
Hi, this is Nicole R. Coleman, host of the new show, Super Bold Live. Each week, I will feature real people just like you that have stepped out on faith, overcome fear, and made bold moves that transform their lives. We are creating a community of game changers. Listen in each week and let's help you unleash the power within. Bold talk, bold impact, bold transformation. Be sure to connect with me at www.livesuperbold.com.
Super Bowl Live with Nicole R. Coleman. Tuesdays, 7 to 8 p.m. on 1520 KYND.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Smith, and I'm a certified spiritual life coach and motivational speaker. But more importantly, I am a wife and a mother. I am so excited to begin the next chapter of my journey, my new radio talk show, The Journey with Tiffany Smith, on KYND 1520 AM. That's right, tribe. You can tune in every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. starting July 24th. My new show will include conversations about manifesting your dreams, celebrity interviews, and also I've created some new tools to support you in changing your life. If you're ready to change your life, baby, you got to change your mind. Join the journey with Tiffany Smith and let's talk about it.
Yeah. Whoa. That was Yolanda Adams with Victory, baby. And that's what we had this morning on the Yolanda Adams Morning Show, nothing but victory. It is a Fly Friday Live.
It's your turn to be heard.
Orleans, and we are back with our third history maker in swimming, Maritza McClendon. Maritza, you're here at the National Association of Black Journalists Conference, and you're an athlete. What does it mean for you to be in this environment?
I think this is amazing. I'm the first woman of color to make a U.S. Olympic swim team, and I think for me to be here amongst the journalists that basically are the most interested in us as athletes. So I definitely appreciate being around everybody here. Everybody's been so nice, and I've kind of been incognito, and then every now and then they're like, "Are you an Olympian?" I was like, "Yes," and everybody gets so excited. So it feels really, really good to be here.
I want to ask you about what it feels like to accomplish an incredible goal. Did you understand how you were shifting, not just history, because we get the numbers, but did you understand that you were shifting the perception of people of color in swimming when you were working every single day to reach your goal?
To be completely honest, at first I had no idea. You know, when I first started swimming, it was I want to make the Olympics. That was my #1 goal. I knew that when I did it, I would make history. So that was more of icing on the cake. But I think as the years have come along and we're starting to see that shift of just African Americans being so predominant in the news, that's not always a great thing, but there's definitely some great moments out there, especially as athletes for us. And now we're starting to see that shift. We're starting to see more African Americans in the pool. We're starting to see them do more non-traditional sports. So I think that's exciting to be a part of, and to know that I kind of started it in the swimming world. I think that is just an absolute honor.
So what is one of the things that people are most surprised to know about you? Part of it could be why you started swimming, but also what's a little nugget that we may or may not know about you?
Most people don't realize that I love cars, and I love fast cars. So I'm fast in the water, and I love getting into fast cars. I mean, one of the first things that I did was I bought a brand new 350Z, souped it up Fast and Furious style. I was racing the car on the street and things like legally. Let me just throw it out there, legally now. So yeah, so that's one thing that people are like, you like cars? And I'm like, yeah, I'll get behind a fast wheel in a heartbeat.
I love that, but then it still makes sense. Fast in the water, fast cars, right? Exactly. That is so brilliant. Now, there are going to be some people watching and listening who say, you know what, I get it, athletics, that's exciting, but I think what's so compelling is your why. We all reach incredible goals, but it starts with a why. Why did you start swimming? How did that start?
So funny enough, for me, my story started because I was diagnosed with scoliosis. So my back was about 25 degrees off center, and I started to have a lot of back problems. I was walking a little crooked. I wouldn't be very comfortable sleeping and things like that. Went to a doctor, and he actually recommended either swimming or gymnastics. I started swim lessons, and it was just basically to learn to get from one end of the pool to the other, and then it turned into me being like, Mom, can I join a swim team? And the love just continued to grow from there. I stayed in the sport for 20 years competitively, and to this day I'm still immensely involved. As you can see, I'm still here representing as an Olympian, as a Black Olympian.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your journey and for your transparency.
Thank you.
Wow, our history-making Olympians remind us to be fearless in the pursuit of our goals. And our last guest, putting a bow on Zakiya Larry Live from New Orleans, reminds us to be fearless in standing in our power. Welcome author, activist, speaker, actor, Hill Harper. Hi there, Hill.
So, Hill, there were a lot of questions from the audience, but one that kind of circulated at my table, I know you'll be able to address. The gauntlet was dropped for people of color to take a stance. What about those people who say, I'm a global citizen, this might not be my fight. I just want to be an American first, a professional second, and I just happen to be Black. Are they being a little too safe when it comes to advancing their own career, and then also the people of color that come behind them?
Well, you know, I never tell anybody how they should be. I mean, they have to think about how they want to live their lives. It's not my place to tell them how they should live their life. But what I would tell folks is to look at numbers, look at facts, look at data, and then find out, what are you passionate about. You don't necessarily need to be passionate about the same things I'm passionate about, but hopefully you're passionate about something that uplifts the human condition somehow or in some way. Now, if that is African Americans, if that is the environment, if that is education, whatever it is, but that's the one area where I do push people and say, I'm not going to tell you what you should be passionate about, and I'm not telling you what, but you need, as a human citizen, if that's what you want to say, as a member of the human family, community, part of the reason why you're here is to make the world a little bit better. What area, whether it's in your corporation, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in your community, your school, whatever, what are you doing to make the world a little bit better and not tear it down? And we have a lot of examples in the world today of folks tearing things down. I want to push people to build up, without telling them what they should do, because it's not my place. I know what I'm passionate about, and I know where my work goes and what my focus is, and you can see that. I mean, you go to my social media, you can go to the books I've written. So I don't hide that, and I'm unapologetic about it. But at the same time, I know that someone else may have their own sets of goals and dreams and what they want to achieve, and they should exercise that.
Hill, to that point, you know what you're passionate about and what you do. However, you also exist in a very diverse world, and even a world driven by white America. You are a Hollywood force. How do you balance being unapologetically Black and still making sure that you are rising in the ranks in an industry controlled by people that don't look like you? Do you find that to be a fight? Could it be off-putting at times?
Well, you know, Ed mentioned earlier, there are certain things that are roles over the course of my career that I have not done where I could have gotten much more wealthy and probably more famous, but they did not ring true to me and who I wanted to be and the type of project that I wanted to be associated with. It's not about characters, because I like playing the bad guy. I don't get to play the bad guy as much as I want, but it's about the message of the project. What is the project? What message is that sending? So for me, there are sacrifices, but there's so many people that make sacrifices, and so those are champagne problems. And what I mean by that is, I'm blessed to work in a wonderful industry that I love. I love acting. I love the entertainment business. I love telling stories. And so I've been blessed to build a career doing that, and also it's given me a platform to speak about the things that I'm passionate about. So I have no complaints, and you know, we all, I feel just very fortunate and blessed to be able to do what I do and to partner with organizations that support me. Toyota is one. It's fantastic. You know, I'm my own skincare line, BeTheArchitect.com. That's another example of trying to put out quality products that are affordable. So all of these things, the entertainment side of my life has allowed me to have a platform to do those things. So couldn't be more proud.
Thank you so much for your time, Hill. We appreciate it. Thank you. So this has been a really fun show. You've had the opportunity to hear from tastemakers and even record breakers, and I think that is really phenomenal. But what I really love is that we've had the chance to hang out in the building together, and I am so grateful to have spent this time with you. So before we go and I wrap up this incredible on location in New Orleans episode of Zakiya Larry Live, I am going to leave you with your 1 minute elevate. You may not mean to make history. You may not even be clear on what your dreams are. But I can guarantee you, if you take step by step, you're going to reach whatever goal that you set forth for yourself, and the results are going to blow your mind. Don't give into pressure. You need to understand that baby steps are still steps. So let's do this again next week. It's been amazing. It's Zakiya Larry Live.
If you have an IRS issue, call Roderick Dial PC 713.